Hey, what is going on YouTube? It's Brandon back here with another video for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and showing interest in the channel. And today we're going to be talking about the top 5 growth stocks for 2021. Now, I know we're almost a full month in. It's a little late to be putting out this video, but oh well, I'm doing it. So, before we get into the meat of the video, just real quickly, don't mind hitting that sub button if you like today's content. It really helps my channel out. I post videos Monday through Friday, go everything under the financial umbrella. So if you're interested in that, hit that sub button. But with all that out of the way, let's get into the video. So what I'm going to be going over today is just 5 growth stocks that I think have some pretty good potential to run up a lot either this year or the next year or so. So the first one we're going to be talking about is DraftKings. Their ticker symbol is DKNG, and I absolutely love DraftKings. For one, I think the sports gambling, sports betting industry, I mean, you hear it from a lot of people, but I really do think it's going to get huge because it's not even fully legalized in all states, and it's already doing pretty well, and I can only see, especially even if we go into another lockdown or whatever the case is, I feel as though sports betting is only going to get bigger and bigger as people look for different avenues to make money or have more entertainment in their life. I really do feel that the sports gambling industry is probably going to be one of the biggest growth sectors that there's going to be in the near future. And as you can see from their chart, they're definitely a growth stock with how much they've moved. They've went from $17 on the low of the year all the way up to 64, and now they're kind of towards the higher end of that range. But I definitely do feel that DraftKings is a great company, and I mean, they promote well, they have a lot of people talking about it. I just feel like there's nothing but pretty much upside for this company. Now, I will say a biggest downside of this company and biggest risk that could face it is for whatever reason there are huge hangups in regards to passing more sports betting in more states, making it more legalized. That would be the only situation where I see DraftKings could have a little bit of a pullback or regression in the growth of the company, but I really don't see that happening. I really only see more legalization happening. More and more states are going towards it, so I really do think that this is a great company to buy. Oh, and I forgot to preface this, but all these stocks and recommendations I make in today's video, don't listen to them because they're going to lose you money if you follow them, and I'm not a financial advisor, so purely for entertainment purposes only. So keep that in mind. But yeah, DraftKings is 100% probably my number 1 favorite stock for this year and for the time being right now. So let's go ahead and move into the second stock. This one is very similar, but it's Penn National Gaming, and it's pretty much the same as DraftKings for almost the exact same reasons. The only reason I don't like this one quite as much is just because it has run up a lot more, and I think it's been around for a little bit longer, but they're still a solid company. I think there's a lot of growth for them in the future. I don't know if it's going to be as much growth as DraftKings is going to have, but I definitely feel as though there's room for them to grow and really make some good gains in this next year or two, especially like I stated earlier, with the more rollouts of legalization of sports betting happening in the States. Now, personally, I am more invested into DraftKings, but I definitely would not be opposed to looking at Penn and maybe getting a small position in them, just so that way I can have a little bit more exposure to the sector in general. But Penn, a lot of people have made a lot of money on this already, and I feel as though it is pretty much here to stay. It's going to be growing. Same with DraftKings. There's just nothing but room to grow. Only downside is there's big hangups on the legal side of things where you can't sports bet across the states. But, I mean, I'm definitely heavily weighted in the favor of that's going to happen and there's going to be growth. So I'm a huge thumbs up on these companies. Next one I'm going to be talking about is FUBO, and this one is definitely the most speculative company I have on my top 5 list today. I figured I'd add a few pretty good ones, and I have to include at least one more speculative one. And the only reason I say this is because, I mean, kind of came out of nowhere. It's kind of insane the way it's moved. As you can see, this chart is just insane. Huge up, down, dip. It's craziness, I know. But the thing with FUBO that kind of worries me the most, I'll start with the downsides, because I think this one definitely has an uphill battle to go to. I just think that the market for like another streaming service, I feel it is pretty clouded. There's a lot of competition in there. So I feel that is going to be FUBO's biggest obstacle, is just trying to get market share. If they can find a way to really promote well and grasp audience and hold them and retain them, I really do feel like they could rock it and do extremely well. But I feel like the downside of them trying to become like a household name, well known, like a Netflix, Hulu, whatever it is, I feel like that is going to be by far and away their hardest goal, just because of how many different services are out there and how many different companies are creating a streaming service. So this one is definitely going to be an uphill battle, but if it pays off, they could just absolutely rip like they do. They have good news, like a partnership with somebody, maybe a buyout, who knows. They could really, really do well as a stock in a company. But I definitely feel like this one is going to be the most speculative stock I talk about today. Nonetheless, if you have a small position in them, great. Let it ride and see what happens. But I'm definitely going to be keeping my eye on FUBO. Or FUBO, whatever you want to, not FUBO, FUBO. Now the next one is probably going to be the safest bet that I have on the list. This one is Square. And the reason why I say Square, I know it's ran up so much this last year, but I really do like the company, and I really love online banking. I feel as though we're going to be getting more and more away from the traditional banking kind of style where you go in, have branches. I think Square is an extremely smart company. I mean, they have Cash App and a couple other things under their belt. They kind of deal with Bitcoin a little bit too, so they're definitely more gearing towards future ideas. So I really do like that fact, because as you see, a lot of the bank stocks, they have not performed near to the amount that Square has. Obviously, Square is a huge growth company and banks have been around forever, but I think Square is definitely the future of banking, and it's going to be here a lot quicker than we see, as it's already making a pretty solid mark in, the industry. And as you can see, Square has ran up like 600% or 700%, whatever that amount is, in a year's time, which is craziness. But the future is here. It's happening. I really do like Square and what they're doing, all their innovations regarding the banking industry. And it's just, I really, really do like them. This one is going to be one, if you maybe have a little bit more limited upside, but it's a lot safer than, say, a FUBO, just for the fact of it's a little bit more established. It's already proven itself, but it does still have room for a decent amount of upside if you want it. So I do like Square a lot, but let's move on to the last stock I have on today's list, which is a pretty newer one. What was that? But, I just typed it in wrong too. It's DoorDash. Ticker symbol is DASH. Goodness, I cannot speak today. But it's just DoorDash. And the reason why I like this, even though it had some insane premium on the IPO, it dropped a ton all the way down to 135, as you can see here. But since then, it's recovered pretty well, just like everything else in the market. I know we're in insane times, but you got to roll with what's given you, or what you're given. And we're given good opportunities to have more growth. And now DoorDash, I definitely think, has a pretty significant grab on the market share of delivery services. I know, especially where I'm at, DoorDash is by far the most popular one to have. And I see so many people door dashing out, or I've run into a lot of them. I even do it from time to time if I ever have some extra time on my hands. And I think they're a very solid company, and their valuation throughout the years has just gone up crazy amounts, because they keep growing their business and they keep doing what they need to do, to put it simply. And their market cap, I believe, was around 60 billion last time I checked. And I personally believe they could be probably worth around $100 billion in the next few years. So that would almost double their stock price. And I don't think that's unrealistic at all for this company, especially as long as they keep taking more and more market share. Their biggest competitor obviously is going to be Uber with Uber Eats, but I do feel as though DoorDash has a pretty strong grip on things, and at worst case scenario in some markets they'll be 50-50 with them, but I do feel as though DoorDash is going to be here. I definitely think they're going to be here for a while, so worst case scenario, it takes them a little bit longer than I thought to double their market cap, but I definitely do think it's going to be happening probably in the next few years. So I do feel as though this is a pretty solid company to go after. But with all those 5 companies out of the way, drop down below in the comments what are your favorite growth stocks that you're looking at this year, whether it's short term or long term. Let me know. I would love to see what you guys are thinking about. And remember, none of this was a recommendation, just purely my thoughts and opinions on things. So if you thought I was wrong or right, let me know too. I always like to see if people think I'm doing a good job or if they think I'm wrong. Whatever the case is, just let me know, please, down in the comments below. And make sure to hit that subscribe button. I mean, a lot of you guys that watch these videos are not subscribed, so I really am watching you guys. But like this video if you enjoyed it. And with all these things out of the way, I'll see you guys tomorrow, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.